That's why, guys. This topic is I'm on a topic of the beer, and it's so fucking complicated and confusing. I don't even know how to start. Anyways, I got really annoyed with people who make statements like, it's in. First of all, okay, there's fate, Fate, which is, you know, supernatural event or something like that that you have no power or control over of, and then there's faith, Faith, is belief, your beliefs or belief of what's happening, what will happen, or something like that. Okay, so I used to get really, really freaking annoyed with people who say it was in my fate, Fate, not to go pray, and it was in my fate that I'm not going to exercise because even though I'm overweight and I need to for my medical purposes. Because if Allah wanted to, He would force my legs to move and run, or if Allah wanted to, He would force my legs to walk to the mosque. And that used to cheese the crap out of me. But you can't use fate. You can't use fate like that. And this is how it works. It's basically you have fate. Now your belief's faith, but fate, like, you something you can't control. And if I can't explain this properly, forgive me. Basically, how you're supposed to live your life, Islamically, in what you're supposed to do is basically it's called taqdeer ma tafweed, which means to plan and hand over the results of your plan to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is faith. And you're supposed to make your own actions and do your own actions of like walking to the mosque to pray for namaz and stuff, and like exercising to help your body and for medical purposes, or to become more healthy, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has entrusted His body upon you, or like people who have diabetes to not eat things or do things that will cause more harm to your diabetes, that kind of stuff. You can't just say that I have tawakkul, I have faith, tawakkul in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I won't get more sick, even though I'm having things that will make me sick. You will get sick. And it's taqdeer ma tafweed is basically you make a plan and you hand over the results of that plan to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever happens. So for example, I tried to get a job and then I didn't get the job, so the results was in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or I have to physically ride my motorcycle to get to school. I can't just say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make me fly to school or something like that. And like all the physical physics properties and every principles of the world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it so that it applies and it works, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can take that away if He so wills, like in the story of Ibrahim Islam when he was thrown into the fire and when he was sacrificing his son. Allah can take the physical properties away, and that's where your tawakkul comes in, and not tawakkul, sorry, that's where that's where your belief comes in, your faith that Allah has the power to take the physical properties away. But in my understanding, as our human being understanding, the physics of the property should remain. Don't be an idiot and say I have faith that if I jump off of this roof, I won't die. A 10-story roof or something like that. It's gonna be suicide, and you're gonna be held accountable, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made the world asbab, a world that works on asbab, sabab, causes and like materials and objects and all the physical stuff. So don't get that colluded and confused and start doing stupid things and then blame it on faith or fate, whichever one. I get confused now. Okay, and how it works, how you're supposed to use it. You basically mostly use it in the past tense. So something bad happened to you, for example, you had a car crash when you were young, or you got a medical disease, asthma or something like that. You basically just say it was fate. It was written in my fate that I was gonna get sick and stuff like that. And there's nothing I can do about it. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had it written in my books beforehand, and therefore happened. And that is a great gift that we have, like as believers and then Muslims, believers in general will have this, is that we can console ourselves upon that. That was Allah's choice. We can console ourselves and not go into a depression, and it stops us from getting depressed ever, because we just say it was Allah's choice, and we did whatever we could do, but whatever results came or whatever happened in the past, it was Allah's choice. So there's nothing to do about it. And this is something that we actually have, I say, and it's all over atheism and atheists. And I'm not atheist bashing over here, or trying to, but basically atheists will blame themselves over all their problems, and they'll say that it's because of me, right? Because they don't believe in a God and they don't believe in fate. That's something that, so the predestined result of their efforts. They'll blame themselves for all their efforts, whichever one of their efforts that fail. Whereas we, the ones that are successful, we just say, Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, thank you for making that work out. And the ones that fail, we just say, oh, that was your choice. I tried my best, but you know better than me that this wasn't supposed to happen, or it would have been maybe worse for me in the long run. So I just do shukr for you there too. Yeah, I also gotta do shukr. I'll explain that. I don't know if I explained that already. So that's how it works. There's a hadith, this one hadith that I always, that's like a fabric or like core principle hadith for myself. And I'll link in the description. And it's basically, in short version of it is, وَإِنْ أَصَابَكَ شَيْءٌ فَلَا تَقُلْ, I'm trying to say it in English. So if something was to happen to you, a calamity was to befall you, then don't say, if I was to do this, or if I was to do that, this, that, and other, this wouldn't happen, or this would have worked out. You don't say that. Just say, قَدَّرَ اللَّهُ مَا شَاءَ فَعَلَ. It was written in the taqdeer of Allah. Allah had it predestined, and Allah does whatever He wants, like whatever He chooses, and these are Allah wants, right? So then you just suck it up. And then the hadith continues, says, فَإِنَّ اللَّهُ تُفْتَحُ أَمْرَ الشَّيْطَانِ, it's because the word law, which means if, opens the doors of the actions of shaitan. Like you start getting into depression, which is not good. It's like an evil, Amr shaitan usually refers to something bad. Or you start blaming your friends and family or things around you because of this, that, and other, or this traffic light, or this guy was speeding, or something like that, and it just spirals into depression. So just say, Allah decided for it to happen, it happened, and I'm gonna move on. So you mostly use it for the fate, fate for the past tense. I'm not sure about the present. And for the future, the way you use it is you plan for what you want to do, and whatever results comes, you should say it's Allah's choice. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's Allah's choice. And you can't say and do things like, I'm not gonna try to make these actions, and if Allah wanted to, he'll make me do it. Or I'm not gonna get worse even if I don't do it. You can't say like stuff like that. It's angersome that people use it like that. It's not meant to be used like that. You have to make your actions, and those actions are going to be rewarded because you made the effort. Like, think about it. Like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? That's one that is most beloved. He could go into the battle of Badr or every single battle, and just like go like this or something, or like that or something. No weapons. No one has any weapons, and like the whole ground will break apart, and everyone would just they'll be victorious, and everyone would just die. Allah didn't want the world to function in the physical and physics that properties that He's created it in. He made them go with weapons, and they didn't have many, but with weapons and stuff, and people died. And if Allah wanted it, none of that could have happened. They could have just been like poof. But that's not how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes this world work. And it's important that you understand that. And some people just get a misconception. That's trying to clarify that. Sorry it's so long. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.